What is up, guys? It is the Canadian Futures Trader here, and this is my top step video for day 5, the trading day ending on Wednesday, December 23rd. You might see this graph. It was not a good day, so I got some explaining to do. So to highlight some important numbers. So first things first, it's about 1 a.m. in the morning. I've been trading all evening again. I actually traded both my TopStep and my OneUp accounts, not simultaneously. I did TopStep first after taking a serious beating. I shut things down for the day, and then I switched to OneUp. You can see my OneUp video. I actually did just fine in OneUp, made about 500, but lost a fair amount here. And by fair amount, unfortunately, I made about 2,500. You might be thinking, how did you do that? I was on a plan to dig myself out of a hole. I basically recouped about 1,800 the last 2 days prior to today. And then gave up 2,500 today, unfortunately. So, winners and losers, you can see here again, not a lot, and I did not do a lot of trades. So, here's my balance, and then I'll get here in a second to what went wrong today. So my balance is 147,271. So I basically gave up. Let me think. Yeah, I dug myself a pretty good hole. It's almost back to 150. So yeah, we took a beating today, 2,500. What happened basically was I watch both the equities and the bond markets. I typically trade the bond markets, but the two markets are correlated and usually inversely. So when equities are taking off, the bonds tend to fall, and that's what was happening. Is the equities were taking off all evening, so there got a point where the equities had just been going up, 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 and I was in a position where I thought the equities were about to turn and take a sharp downfall. So since I anticipated equities going down, I went long on the Ultra Bond. And unfortunately, my opinion was incorrect. Equities just continued to go up, 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 and bonds just continued to fall, fall, fall. They show signs of life, like it went down, 5 ticks, come back 3 ticks, go down 7 ticks, come back a few. So I really was looking for that turnaround, and it just never happened. And we're talking hours that I was watching this trade. So didn't stick to my rule, didn't, cut my losses after a few tick downfall. Was looking at the bigger picture and was wrong. I mean, that's the end result. I really thought the equities were ready to make a change and turn around, but they have just been going up, or they were. At least I haven't looked at them in the last hour. We can actually look here really quick. I follow NQ. You could watch ES. You could watch whichever. I'll switch this to a 15. Yeah, so after this huge fall, it'd been ticking up, up, up. Really was expecting it to just get hammered and go down, but it's not. It just continued up, and likewise, the bonds just went down, down, down. So somewhere in here, I went long, probably around here. Actually, no, that's incorrect. Probably, let me see here. Nah, it would have been earlier. Anyways, wherever I went long, it doesn't matter because as you can see, it's breaking lows. So, that basically sums it up. So I ate about $1,500 on that bond trade. That was also the majority of my evening. The additional 1,000 I then lost. I would say basically somewhat on tilt, trying to make it back. At some point after, cutting my losses, tried to trade the bonds a bit more, got beat up for 100 here, 100 there. Eventually tried to trade NQ, so I switched over to NQ. I'm like, you know what, if this thing's going up, then I'm going up with it. And I think I went long right about here, and you can see what happened. It went down. Now, this does not look like much of a movement, but believe me, this is about like a $500 move or so when you're trading 3 contracts. So yeah, this graph is proportioned based on these huge swings. Based on trading 3 contracts. So yeah, that was about another $500 loss, just that little bit. So really was hoping it would continue its rise up, and I could well see this. Like I get up tomorrow morning and this is shot way up here, but I couldn't stick with it anymore. My daily loss limit is 3,000, so I'm already pushing it, losing 2,500. So as far as my plan with this, obviously we're back into recoup mode. I will completely evaluate it on the weekend. As for the final day of this week, so this is technically Wednesday's trading day. Thursday is Christmas Eve. That is the final trading day of the week. I'm probably not going to do much with it. I will probably, whatever trade I get into, will will probably be the only trade that I do for a couple of reasons. One, it's Christmas Eve. I don't really want to spend my entire evening, although technically it'd be the day before Christmas Eve, but I don't want to spend hours trying to make this account right. Two, we're pretty close to the weekly loss limit, so the weekly loss limit is also 3,000. So I don't have a ton of room to work with. So I kind of just want to get a trade in, call it a week, regroup over the weekend, and then come up with a plan on trying to save this account. So, um, and the plan will probably be very similar to what the plan was before. Just try to get myself back to 150 and then go from there. But I'm definitely not going to try to do it all in one swipe. We'll just do it day by day. So that's the summary. Like with my OneUp account, I'm going to do my next video on Christmas Day. I'm going to wait a few days just because I want the dashboard to be updated, and I want to show you guys what the TopStep dashboard looks like. But it won't be updated for Christmas Eve until, Christmas Day or late on Christmas Eve. So I'll make that video on Christmas Day and upload that but I'm not expecting to do much with the account. So this is pretty much where it's going to end for the week anyway. So there we go, guys. I wish I had better news to report. I wish I had definitely cut that trade at a few $100 loser instead of a $1,500 loser, and then just spiraled from there. But if anything, what I want people to take from this is, things were going good the last few days, and then it just takes one bad trade to kind of set you off, and next thing you know, you're chasing your losses, and you've given up everything you made for the last few days. So learn from my mistakes. Don't do as I do as I say, and I will leave you guys with that. So look for those videos, and look for hopefully some additional videos just about TopStep, OneUp, etc. Coming in the near future.